Sandy says read, and welcome to the channel. You guys, today we're going to do two things in one video. I will delineate this for you with timestamps below, so if you don't want to watch the parrot stuff, you can skip right to the review of the love letter ghost at the end of this video, the second half of this video. We're going to start by talking about the adorable, cute thing that I got to do this morning. It's a Saturday. You know, I usually film these things on the weekends, get a couple of these things done on the weekend to bring you the entertainment throughout the week, right? Well, so this morning I went to the grocery store, and next door to the grocery store is a pet store. And at the pet store today, they were doing free pet photos. And you know, I took advantage of that. So after my grocery shopping, I came home and I got Winston and took him back to have his photo done. So look at this, you guys. And let me check the screen over here and see if I can get a glare off of it for you. Sort of, kind of. Okay, look, isn't he adorable? Look at that picture of Winston. And of course, there's more than one. Look at this. Let me see if I can get the glare off of that one too. Kind of, a little bit. Look how cute he is. Look, an over the shoulder pose in that one. Isn't that great? The gal who was doing the pictures gave me her business card. I asked for it because I wanted to be able to tell you guys who she was. Her name is Ursula, and she does photography by Ursula. Her, there's her car. Huge glare. Oh, you can kind of sort of see it. Not really. She has a website that she lost control of like a year or so ago. So she just has her Facebook. She just has her Facebook page now for her marketing. So I will put a link to her in the comment field below, the drop down box below, because she was just so very kind, so very nice. She was doing these photos for free for people for Valentine's Day. It was like a Valentine's Day gift to the community. Now, if you wanted to get a second photo of your pet, that one would cost, which was fine. I was willing to pay a little bit to have a second photo of Winston. There they are. I will frame those nicely and have them somewhere in my home. Because, you know, I don't have enough pictures of my birds. I think I have shared with you all that I'm one of those crazy pet owners who gets pictures done professionally of the animals and frames them for the walls. Yeah, that crazy has always happened in my life. Winston is one of the few birds that will, like, he'll put up with that, right? He will put up with that. He will go along with it. He will sweet talk everyone in the store and then get a treat for it. And he puts up with it very well. He's a well-adjusted bird. There we go. That's the cuteness. Let's talk about The Love Letter Ghost. This book is by M.E. Saladino. And I know there's going to be a glare on this. Let's see if we can move that around a little bit. Is that better? Move so you can see her name. Okay, this is a contemporary romance novel with a touch of speculative fiction thrown in. I picked this book up at her table back at the Sunshine State Book Festival back in January. I wanted to have some more content for February. So here we go. The specs are The Love Letter Ghost by M.E. Saladino. The copyright is 2022. This copy is 359 pages. It's written in third person past tense. All three parts are third person past tense. There are three parts, and we're going to talk quite a bit about the middle part, which was my favorite. Let me see if I can read the back cover for you. It's in reverse text, and my eyes are getting ancient and old. I'm having trouble with reverse text, you guys. So let's see if I can read this for you. Born over a century ago in Gloucester, Massachusetts, Alexander Sullivan knew hardship, having survived poverty, physical abuse, and the Spanish flu pandemic. Above all, he knew the power of love. In The Love Letter Ghost, Alexander reaches through the ages to express that primal emotion the only way his unearthly form is able, by channeling his spirit through a fountain pen he once owned in 1908. Now in the hands of New York novelist Conrad Mac McConnell, the enchanted pen becomes Mac's ally, enabling him to write heart-wrenching love letters to his fiancée, Angela Russo, after she breaks their engagement. Problem is, they're written by a ghost who insists on sticking his nebulous nose in Mac's love life, a ghost with a hidden agenda. To complicate matters further, Angie's Italian grandfather gets kicked out of his retirement home and moves in with her family. The pasta hits the fan when Gramps hatches a scheme to reunite the couple, enlisting Angie's sister Marie and a neighbor's ornery pet, Tiny, a small dog with a big attitude that Gramps bribes into submission with enough pepperoni to give the Pope a gaita. I'm probably mispronouncing that. I'm not Italian. Okay. Just as Mac's letters begin to work their magic, Angie's childhood nemesis, Bianca Lombardi, heiress to the Lombardi crime family fortune, pounces on their breakup as the opportunity she's been waiting for and makes a move on Mac. Gramps' plan would have worked if Angie didn't catch Bianca with her arms wrapped around Mac like a starving anaconda. Now it's up to Marie and Gramps to clean up the mess he's made while Mac and the meddling ghost write love letters to Angie. You guys, that is the entire book. That is the entire plot and everything that develops the whole thing is that is the synopsis of the book. That is the whole thing. That's everything that happens right there on the back cover. So let's talk about the book. Part one, Angie, one of our main characters, Angie. I'm going to tell you something. I felt in part one like she was dodging a bullet. She broke off her engagement with Mac, Conrad McConnell. And boy, it felt like she was dodging a bullet. And here's why. Let's talk about Mac's personality on page 40. That's 27. Let's see. Page 40. I thought I had these marked for you guys. Hold, please. All right, here we go. Page 40. Okay, there's a conversation here. Then I wrote something in the margin that I'm not going to read for you guys. Okay, there's a conversation here that I found problematic, and I thought it was weird. So we're getting a look at Mac's personality when he's not even with Angie. He has woken up the day after their breakup, the day after they had a dinner at a really nice restaurant, and she just blurted out to him, "Look, we can't go through with this. I can't marry you. The wedding is off." And he's, of course, stunned by this, of course. And he drinks a bit too much when he gets home that night. And the next morning he wakes up, kind of hungover and unhappy. He gets in his fancy schmancy car and he goes driving somewhere and he gets lost. He gets turned around and he's on a road he doesn't recognize and the car gets a flat. So he has to call the auto club. So he calls and let's see, a cheerful female voice answered after the first ring. "Thank you for calling the auto club. How may I help with your problem today?" "That's just great. A happy person. The last thing I need right now is a nice, happy person." "What makes you think I have a problem?" he asked brusquely. "You just called the auto club, sir. Or did you mean to call your AA sponsor instead?" "My what? Oh, I get it," he said, leaning against the car. "Okay, I'm sorry I snapped at you. I'm having a really crappy day." "I understand. It's never a good day when you call us. How may I help you?" "I'm a little embarrassed. This never happened to me before." "What has never happened before? You being rude to a total stranger or calling the auto club?" "I guess I deserve that," he grumbled. "There's a first time for everything, sir." Mac imagined the person behind the voice on the phone. Probably hasn't had a day in years and lives alone with 3 cats, 2 Great Danes, and a cockatoo named Marquis de Sade. Whatever. Okay, so this is Mac. This is him thinking. This is him having a conversation with a total stranger who is supposed to help him. And it caught me off guard. Of course, I was offended by the cockatoo comment, but it caught me off guard because he's calling someone for help, and I thought he should be nicer to the person he's calling for help. Anyway, there's also something really funny that happens in this conversation. Okay, and this is something funny from my life that's happened in this conversation. He continues with the gal on the phone, the auto club gal, and she wants to know where he is, but he doesn't know where he is because remember, he got lost. He got turned around. He doesn't know what road he's on. He looks at, he's in front of a store, like a pawn shop type store. So he tells her that, and she's like, "What's the name of the store?" He's like, "I can't tell." Okay, then he says, "Good. Are there any street names that you can see?" Max shaded his eyes with his hand. "It's hard to tell from here, but I think I'm on Tiny Road." "Did you say Destiny Road?" Okay, so spell it out. Tiny Road, right? Tiny, which is cute. This is clever. This is funny. that's a cute little joke that's in there. But you guys, it reminds me of, this happened in my life. I was on a cruise with Crazy Pants a long time ago, and there was a nightclub on the cruise ship called Dynasty, the Dynasty nightclub. And the sign for the Dynasty nightclub lit up in pieces, like the D, then the Y, then the rest of the word. So I'm looking at the sign and I'm half drunk and I went, D-Y nasty. And Crazy Pants is with me and he's like, what did you just say? And so, like an idiot, I repeated it because I'm still thinking the name of this nightclub is D-Y nasty. And he says, you mean Dynasty? And yeah, the name of the club was Dynasty, not D-Y nasty. Like the name of this road is Destiny, not Destiny. There you go. Okay. Anyway, the cross street is Future. So he's at the corner of Future and Destiny, where this pawn shop is located. And that's very cute. That's very clever. I liked M.E. Saladino putting the pawn shop at the corner of Future and Destiny. That was clever. I liked that. I also liked the reminder of my drunken stupidity on a cruise ship. D.Y. nasty. Okay, we also see Mac's personality on page 47. Let's see. Page 46 and 47. Okay, when he's deciding in the pawn shop to buy this fancy pen. I mean, it's a fountain pen from like 1908, right? It's an old-fashioned, fancy, like calligraphy style pen, and he decides to buy it because he says, oh, what the hell. Mac knew he could afford it and whipped out his credit card. Women shop all the time to feel better, and he certainly needed to feel better today. And this gives us more insight into Mac's character, into the way he thinks. I mean, he just feels like a 1950s wise guy at this point in the story. And I'm thinking, wow, Angie has dodged a bullet. She should not marry this guy. He's no good. I don't like him. Now, he does improve, okay? He does get better. I mean, when he starts writing with this pen and he doesn't crumple up and throw away the letters that the pen writes for him, that's good. I mean, he does turn around a little bit. He does go through a character arc that shows him growing, that shows him realizing, hey, I could be more attentive to Angie. Hey, I could be more careful with the fawning fans who adore me and paw at me. He does figure out that he could be a better boyfriend, a better fiance, and therefore become a better husband to this woman that he loves. Okay, so he does go through that arc. So that's good. So what happens is he buys this pen in the pawn shop that he is destined to arrive at, right? He gets the pen, and the person who used to own the pen is Edwin Alexander Sullivan. And in fact, his name is engraved on the pen. So part 2 of our story is the past. We go into the past and we see the story of Edwin Alexander Sullivan, and he preferred to be called Alex because of the abusive past that he had to deal with his father. And his story is awesome. I totally enjoyed part 2 in the middle of this book, this story of Alex and Alex getting out of poverty, of pulling himself up by his bootstraps, of working hard, of being a good, productive citizen, of moving away from the harborside town where he lived. Just everything about his story was cool. The way it was told was cool. The meet cute that he had with the woman he was going to fall in love with. Everything about his story was cool. I enjoyed it so much. You guys, if you wanted to pick up this book, I would recommend it just for that middle story, for the story from the past. That was cool. It's tragic, it's heartbreaking and sad, but it's still cool, okay? So the tragic, heartbreaking, sad story, though, does end with Alex's death. Obviously, he was alive in 1908. So he did pass away. I won't tell you how, just in case you want to read it. But the birds think it's sad too. He did pass away, and his ghost, his spirit, is in that pen, or works through that pen to help Mac win Angie back. And that's in part 3. So in part 3, we return to current day. We return to the story of Mac and Angie. We have her sister Marie. Marie has a love interest in Mac's friend Rick. There are a whole lot of characters. There's this grandfather character, this cretin of a chick named Bianca. I mean, she's just this bimbo chick who comes in out of almost kind of out of nowhere, but she is the foil in the story. She would rather be with Mac. She would rather, I can't really tell if she wants to be with Mac because she truly does think he's hot and wants to marry him, or if she just wants to marry him because she wants his money and she would like to, put a wrench in things for Angie because, they were rivals back in school. I don't know. I saw Bianca as just a device in the story that, yeah, she was a device and a nasty one at that. Yeah. Okay, so what's interesting is Mac, he's a mystery suspense type writer, right? So he orchestrates scenes in his books where you have all the characters come together for the big reveal, right? And that happens in this book. You have all these characters coming together, all these characters who have been working against one another in the background or working together, but not realizing they're working together. All of them come together at Mac's house for one big reveal scene in part 3, which I thought was a clever way to pay homage to the mystery genre in this romance story. There you go. That's it. I think that's all I have for this one. You guys know I'm not a contemporary romance reader, but I liked the idea of the ghost story woven into it. That was very cool. I so much enjoyed going into the past and seeing Alex and seeing his love affair with Winifred. I really liked going back in the past and seeing that. That was really nice. That was nicely done. The way that was told was nicely done. I really liked that. That style, the style of that middle part was just lovely. Really, that was the best read out of this whole thing. That's it, you guys. Thumbs up for going to the past. Thumbs up for ghosts who are just trying to make things lovely for people here in the future. Yeah. You all, if you enjoy weird parrot stuff mixed with your romance reviews, then please subscribe to the channel. We don't mix them that often, but once in a while we do. And you'll have to click the bell notification icon to be notified for when that happens. Thanks so much for tuning in, you guys.